Why are you looking at me like that?
This should definitely keep you guys full.
You okay, Shion? You're not eating very much.
What's wrong? Do you not like the cheese fondue that you made?
Yeah, I'm used to seeing you more excited about food.
You're not feeling sick, are you?
No, I'm fine. It's nothing like that. It's just...
What?
I guess I just don't understand what the appeal is. We could just as easily put everything on a plate and pour the cheese on top of it instead.
I suppose it lies in being able to decide exactly how much cheese you want. There's also something to be said for enjoying how it all turns out. It's fun.
That's fine and all, but I wish the plate-to-mouth time was shorter.
I think I understand. You don't like having to put in so much effort into eating something, do you?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Actually, now that I think about it, you're a way less fussy eater than you look, Shion.
In my book, there's no one right way to eat a meal. Tuck in, take your time, be dainty or devouring. As long as you enjoy the food, that's what counts.
There's no need to stand on ceremony while we're out camping in the wilderness.
Yeah, you're right. In that case, don't mind if I do.
I've never seen someone dump that much cheese on a meal before. So, Halim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. We'd best get ready for tomorrow. Shall we get moving?
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I never miss!
You're mine! Double demon fang! It's over!
I'm also good with your own target!
It's over! You've got flyers!
I've got this! Damn done! Leave the charges to me! Air throw!
All yours!
Far enough! Freeze laser! Dance in the wind!
No further!
In here, now!
Double
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
My turn!
Here I go!
You're mine! You're
Lightning!
finished!
Feel!
It's on! Burn it down!
Glacial spear! We won that by a mile!
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart!
When he slows down, that's our chance!
We're gonna keep up to the wall!
Take this! In a bind! Now or never.
There with the others.
Take this!
I can't lay a finger on you.
I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't... Smell anything?
Don't encourage him.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this. In a vine?
You're finished! It's on! Burn!
Nothing gets by me!
Freaking duck flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Lucia,
I'm like bait for them.
No sooner said than done!
do
Yes! This one's got your name on it!
to action! Now!
An
Astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! This one's done in an instant! Impact block! My turn! I'm not...
Will this help?
Swallow dance!
Healing circle! Thank you.
Why'd you win?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Glacial spear. Here's evil.
Hurricane
Now!
You're finished!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done.
Not again! Burn!
Can't get out of this! Now I'm in the groove!
Glacial spear. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Don't mind if I do.
I can carve through the wall.
In an instant!
Impact claw.
My turn! Here I come!
Watch this.
You're on! How about this? You're mine!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
brace yourselves! This one's tough! Little escape!
No further.
Here I come! You're finished!
Here I go!
The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it!
Here I come!
This one's mine!
It's over!
We're in the home stretch, guys.
What she said?
Now,
Eyes on the prize!
astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
Now! You're mine! We're not done! Lunar Roundup! First strike!
Do it.
Demon Fang!
Law.
Demon's descent! Flashing fang! How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No!
Let's refrain from losing.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Now you see what I can do!
Don't mind if I do.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Beyond chance! Double Demon Fang!
Light burst forth!
Not a chance!
I'm on
Dear
it!
throbbing pain.
Take this!
Take this!
Do it.
You're finished! In an instant!
Impact claw!
I can feel my precision improving.